Hey, Carl, are you okay?
No, Oscar. Gramps is a Nazi.
And on this episode of Who Would Watch This?
We're gonna find out who would watch Elves. Alright, Oscar. Elves currently has a 2.4 on Letterboxd. It has no consensus on Rotten Tomatoes. Not even a percentage. And it has a 4.1 on IMDb. Oscar, what's the plot?
Carl, a young woman discovers that she is the focus of an evil Nazi experiment involving selective breeding and summoning elves, an attempt to create a race of supermen. Pause. She and two of her friends are trapped in a department store with an elf, and only Dan Haggerty, Santa, as the renegade loose cannon Santa Claus, can save them. Oh my word, were you expecting this when we walked into it?
Oh my god, absolutely not. And I will say this to the listeners right now. Stop the podcast, go watch Elves. This is my favorite thing I've ever seen.
It's wacky. It's probably the worst film we've watched.
It's, like, because there's money spent on this.
There's 2 cars that get blown up. That costs coin.
That's money. They've got makeup on dead bodies. They've got nude stunt doubles that we'll get into.
Yep, they've got the actual elf itself. There's... Someone corrects him in the film that's not an elf, but elves. There's only one elf, right?
Well, so here we go. First off the bat, why is it called Elves?
I don't think this film was about Christmas. It was about witches and summoning things. They went, can we do a Christmas movie? He went, yeah, let's just...
We'll give you more money.
If you can make it Christmassy.
Yeah.
He went, oh God, there's a lot of stuff in here. You sure you want to... We've read you the synopsis. If you slapped a Christmas sticker on that, you don't want to... No.
I think Jon Favreau and Will Ferrell are very happy this movie's not called Elf. Otherwise, there'd be a lot of children out there who would have accidentally seen the wrong film. And boy, would have they been explained.
So
a
many
lot of things.
A lot of concepts out there that's, to a child. I mean, it's not... Well...
I thought this movie was hard to take in.
I've watched it moments ago, and I'm still kind of processing little bits. Bits come into my brain, and it kind of hurts a little bit.
It feels like it feels otherworldly, like I've had a spiritual experience.
Writing-wise, I think it's the best writing you've ever... Some of the lines...
I'll tell you right now. I'll tell you right now what it does have.
Yeah,
it has, for the first time in a long time, the kindest, sweetest male lead actor, character.
Yes,
he is.
Yes,
he's gorgeous.
I thought you meant the elf. I was like, yeah, I guess compared to what we've got, but yeah, no, this man is a Santa. Oh God, he's bringing Christmas into this film. He'd give you a nice jolly hug, wouldn't he?
Oh God, he would. Want to be like Mary at the inn in Bethlehem.
Don't bring religion and Jesus into this god-awful sinning film.
Let's also explain. So what we're going to be doing over the next 4 weeks in the lead up to Christmas, Oscar and I have paused doing the bottom 100 of IMDb. We're just doing terrible Christmas films. We've got 4 absolutely awful Christmas. I'm afraid we've already peaked, but I know what's coming, and I know we haven't.
Which is crazy to say.
And it maybe gets better from here. I couldn't be more excited. Yeah. But to get into the Christmas spirit, we are starting with this one. So I want to ask Oscar, what does Christmas mean to you?
Well, this film actually sums it up pretty well. I actually, when I was very young, my grandfather... No, I won't spoil the film. I like Christmas trees, and I like the presents, and I like snow. What's Christmas to you, Carl?
Oh, I love Christmas. I'm a Christmas man. I've got my birthday and Christmas in the same month. It's a very, very exciting month.
I'm going to say it now. That's a bad gift return for you.
You see, here's the thing. As I've gotten older, I love that they're combining them now.
Why?
Well, as you're old, you want more expensive, long-lasting items.
All right, fair enough.
So
people stick those together.
I'm like, stick them together and buy me something worth having.
Yeah.
I don't want a gift I throw out after a little bit of time.
Because as I've aged, things now I can buy, but people won't buy me for a present. So if I want, oh God, it's so boring, like a nice pot, like a nice pan. No one's gonna buy me that.
Like, I got, you know how I'm an adult, is I bought a tea advent calendar.
Oh, is it nice?
Oh, it's so good. I've contemplated because I got it with a friend and we've been discussing them every morning. Contemplated just telling her to give me a voice dial and I'll put our reviews of tea at the end of the podcast.
Does better than this podcast. Stop talking about that shit film. What about the tea reviews? There's not enough of those.
The listener at home, the tea reviews will be at the end of the podcast. All right. Fade in. What? Okay, so it starts. We've got 3 girls that I cannot distinguish.
No, and
also for the listener at home, this is on YouTube, so just watch it on YouTube.
Yeah, it's 80 minutes. There's 4 videos up on it. But however, I will say this: I watched it on a phone for part of it. No clue what happened at the 9 to 20 minute mark. So Carl, you'll be running me through
That's the best part of the film.
I wrote down 9 to 20.
I wrote down 9 to 20. I went, this is what David Fincher wants. This is what Nolan needs.
Speaking of, what's it called? Citizen Kane, as we kind of got into that, it opens with a snow globe smashing.
I thought that too.
And I went, no, you can't do that.
Oh, God.
Anyway, okay, so 3 girls are in a woods.
Yep, they're in a woods. They're stumbling around. They're gonna summon something or do something. The main character's stolen her grandfather's book.
Yes.
Right. So if
it sounds like you don't know what's happening, because
I don't. Because
the film doesn't know.
Either one, the filmmaking isn't good, but I'm going to assume that as wrong because the film's incredible.
Yeah, I think we're dumb. The film's smart.
Well, I just think because the quality of the YouTube video is slightly fuzzy. I was like, I don't know what's going on.
They have this fuzzy effect throughout some of the things. I'm like, is my internet
Like-
breaking? Is that the issue?
Well, I'm convinced they added Atmos to cover up the bad acting. Because there's constantly...
You can't add that much Atmos.
And just Brittany being like, hi, where's the...
Who's Brittany?
Brooke.
Oh, I can't believe you knew the names. I got just Kristen, who's the main character, the main one of the 3 girls.
Tell you whose name I didn't get. What's the cat called? She's got a cat. Could not work out what its name is.
I kept thinking Ognus. Like Ugg boots and then like Nuss in the middle there. So Ognus. That's the best I can get.
It literally sounds like gibberish. It's like the director's just told the actress to improv a name, and she's looked at Ugg boots and looked at Ness. She's looked at Nessie, the Loch Ness monster.
It's a picture on the wall. I guess I could name it. No, I'll mix them together. Anyway, so we're jumping ahead. We're jumping ahead to the cat bit. Yeah, so these 3 girls are in the woods.
Yep. They're going to summon something.
No, I think they're doing a love spell.
Oh, yeah, you're right.
So they can get the 3 boys that they all want to fuck to fuck them.
Because I've got the line, ew, a virgin. So I know that's said amongst all the Atmos.
That is in front of the Atmos. Look, something goes wrong, doesn't it, Carl?
Things happen. I think she cuts her hand on a candle.
I think so. I don't know.
It's a razor-sharp candle.
Famous for their sharp edges.
Everybody knows you shouldn't get scented candles. They are propped up on razors.
No, go to the IKEA ones. We are sponsored by IKEA.
No, they do have the most amount of razors.
Oh, really?
Yeah, they say keep out of children's mouths, may contain razors.
Oh, yeah. Which candles can you shove in your mouth?
Oh, God. Just the wick ones. What are the small little ones with a little silver package around them?
That's a tea-light candle.
You can put that in your mouth.
And you can quote us on that during a lawsuit.
You sure can. I'm going to say, let's put an age on it. 2 to 5, I think, are good to swallow that.
I think so. Have it as a little yum. Okay, so yeah, she cuts herself.
Yeah. Are they meant to be teenagers? These are women.
These are
fully grown women.
Everyone in this film is at least, imagine what their characters are meant to be, plus 20 years old. Pretty sure Santa's meant to be like 29.
Oh, God. Anyway, they're basically like, I've cut myself. This blows. Let's get out of here. But where the blood fell, something happens.
Oh, my God. It is terrifying. This hand pops out of the ground.
Elves. I've never seen it in a film before.
Elves.
Elves!
But it's not elves, it's elf. But it's not elf, because that's not the plural, because the weird Nazi scientist librarian corrects her later. We'll get to him.
There's a lot of kooky characters along the way in this film. I am reliving this movie because I've also written a man in a wheelchair comes out of nowhere and starts slapping the main actress.
This is our, I guess...
anti-hero?
Oh, I guess so. So imagine essentially a Nazi scientist grandpa's like, where was my book? Where's my book? Slaps the girl.
Yeah, it needs more Z's.
Where's is my Zook?
That's pretty much
That's
what it...
pretty much
This man couldn't be less German. They might as well have gotten, like, one of those computers that just reads out words.
Google Translate
They've gotten
German.
basically a Google Translate in a wheelchair and stuck Z on every word and gone, this'll make a film.
No, but then he slaps her, and then Kristen's mum is like, hey, don't do that, old wheelchair man. Push them, literally pushes them over there.
Just
and then,
throws him away.
And then grabs her by the scruffs like, I've taken all your savings.
This outraged me. She was like, you were out in the woods with those girls, and you've cut yourself, and your grandfather slapped you, and you stole his book. That's it. Your savings is gone.
I've deposited all... Why have two other characters that we've reviewed have done this now? Is this a common thing that's happened?
You know who also took somebody else's savings? Unhinged.
Oh...
I see a new pattern arising for us to follow.
We're pivoting from bad men and just parental figures taking savings from people. Truly scary. Financial ruin is scary.
They'll do it. Maybe we can review The Goldfinch.
I don't know what that is. What's The Goldfinch?
It's the Donna Tartt one.
Anyway... The small incest child. No.
I'm so upset.
What is that?
Well, for context, the father tries to take the child's savings. The father's played by Luke Wilson. The movie's not great.
I was gonna try and segue, but I literally looked down my notes, and all was written is, I like big fucking tits.
Yeah, so...
So after the mother has, like, stolen her savings, she's like, I'm gonna have a shower, just relax.
She's like, this has been a tough day.
I've had 4 candles.
I've cut myself on a candle. I don't know how. There's blood all through the forest. I haven't lost my virginity. I'm pretty sure I'm 40, living in the mum and I are the same age. My grandfather slapped me. I'm going to just relax in a shower. What could possibly go wrong in the shower?
As the door is ajar, this small child, who we believe is her brother, age-wise no, runs in and grabs her by the breasts. And she's like, get away from me, pervert. And this child, the writing of this child is immaculate.
It's also upsetting because, 1, this is foreshadowing for incest. 2, he's technically the hero of the film.
That's what I wrote. I was like, because he's an awful character, and then he saves the day. Anyway, so he goes, I like big fucking tits.
He doesn't...
He goes that line. The sister's like, what are you doing? You're my brother. I'm like, nah, I'm going to spank you and get you I'm so horny.
Pretty much, I'm going to double down on this. Imagine a 10-year-old trying to slap around some titties. We're not joking.
Like, it's not even a joke.
We're minutes into the film.
Yeah.
It's already... I'm loud. We're minutes into the film. Like, and... It annoys me because he knows he's been caught, runs into a room with many hiding spaces, and just kind of darts
around.
He's like, I don't know, where am I going to hide?
If I keep moving, the vibration will get her. The girl then picks him up and goes, you're a bad, incest, weird boy, and throws him on the bed, and this weird transition happens.
Oh, I don't like it. It just looks like they're rolling on the bed together.
It looks sexual.
Like she's like, yes, scamp.
Alright, what have we ticked off so far? Nazis... incest, bad sexual things. It's not
cats' names. I'm getting back to the cat. She's lying in bed.
Yeah.
She's basically like, oh, Mr. Whiskers, you're the only thing that loves me, and I love you, the only man in my life. And I went, is this cat gonna talk? Is it gonna...
Honestly, that's a better prediction than what happens.
Is it going to be like in Sabrina? Is the cat gonna talk?
Hello, I'm not.
It's like, nah.
I'm the cat. I'm gonna help you with himself.
If it look in another lifetime, this cat is voiced by James Corden.
He's already played. Do you think you'll ever play a cat again?
I'm gonna to say yes. I think he's going to get stuck into like a 9 lives situation like Kevin Spacey was.
Goodness.
The shaggy dog, but it's the rough cat.
Oh,
what else could you call it? What if it was like
Garfield 3?
The dramatically burned cat victim. It's just Patchy.
I've just got the sight of James Corden as a cat licking himself in that scene.
Oh yeah, I don't like it.
Yeah.
Also, side note, Oscar's a cat person. I hate it. You had people around to your house on Saturday, and we were all here.
Yeah.
And somebody had been missing for a little bit of time. I found him, and for the last 10 minutes, he'd been playing with Frankie.
He's the best cat. I stand by this. I'm going to say it now. A lot of dogs aren't great. You can quote me on that. Some are really good, and I like those ones. Some cats are shit. Some cats are shit.
A lot.
A lot of lazy
are
pricks. Like Edgar in this one.
You mean jumbles of letters and words.
Sniff, neshnurf. Nip, dep, doop.
It's like David Lynch. It's just the reverse.
That's art. That's what they did here.
Red rum.
I just got that. Murder. Anyway, also, my cat's great. Yeah.
If Elves could be done as a rap musical, I'd buy a ticket in a heartbeat.
There's a lot of good material here,
but I'd buy one of those tickets that's like $25 for under 25-year-olds. I wouldn't pay like $90.
What a weird caveat. Caveat. We're back into the film. Oh my god,
Elves!
Alright, 3 girls are at a diner.
That's the sound that you make.
3 girls at a diner. The girls that were from the start, I didn't even realise that, for they're different girls.
Oh wait, hang on. Before the girls are at the diner, the elf does break in and try to kill the boy.
Yes.
But the boy is saved by the cat.
Yep.
Yeah.
And then doesn't he call it a fucking... I'm quoting here.
He swears so much.
So much.
Like, Aaron Sorkin has just been like, I'm gonna write this kid's fucking dialogue for you.
Shit.
I've done so much cocaine.
But he's not like... It's not like his character... Like, I thought his character that would come back to it. But when he saves the day and he doesn't swear at the end, you're kind of like, what was the start about? Anyway, so I'm quoting here. He goes, yuck, I saw that fucking midget troll. Weird, right?
A lot of slurs.
A lot of slurs.
There's a lot of slurs in there.
A lot of homophobic slurs, which, 1989, B-grade movie, go nuts.
I'm shocked this was 1989, because I'll tell you the movie feels like it's from the 60s.
It feels like the 60s, but then there's so much, little bits of, Nazis and nudity. You're kind of like, oh, God.
Anyway, so here's what else we find out from this diner scene.
Yeah.
The 2 women go, hey, your stepmom got angry at you, and she's like, no, she's definitely my mom.
Yeah.
She had me when I was 16. That's all we get from the scene, and then we meet Santa.
Yeah, so this is when the movie, at first start of the movie, that's just a weird blob of things. This is the big middle part of the movie where, so they've, oh God, I didn't get what's going on.
Is he a star? They throw his name around in the credits and in plot synopsises like they've got a star. Who's Dan Fogelman?
I don't know who Dan Fogelman is. I looked on IMDb. All the other actors and actresses don't have a picture. He's the only one. So...
You're telling me Christine doesn't have a picture?
No.
What?
She did. Her mum had a picture, but only Santa had a picture. Yes. So these girls are at the mall and at the department store. I didn't get this for about 20 minutes. Their plan is to break into there.
Yes, very confused by that. So
confusing.
Also confused just by department stores from that 80s.
Era, yeah.
I don't get what it is. There's a lot in a single store. Is it all run by that one very jolly gay man?
Oh, he's so snooty, isn't he?
Oh, he's the snootiest man.
You would not believe
he's like that. He's like that, and this is a hard thing to grasp. But he's like that one guy in Ferris Bueller's Day Off that goes, "Are you the sausage king of Chicago?" And if you get that reference...
There's one big Ferris Bueller fan that's just going, God, he's nailed that, hasn't he? That's also seen Elves.
Here's the thing, though. I have. And I'm not gonna get the just dues that I deserve for that impression right now. We're barely into the film. I keep tangenting. We've been talking for an hour.
Yeah, exactly. This is 5. What do they chat about? Okay, so let's try and figure out this. Because there's a long set. Half this movie is about, like, just a taping on a door, but we'll get into that.
Yeah.
So, the 3 girls are at the department store. The main girl, Christina, works at the department or diner. She works somewhere near this.
And she is a terrible waitress.
A terrible waitress. Rude and bad.
There's a part where a comedically large tray is filled with donuts, and it's not even near the edge, and it just looks like she blatantly pushed them off to spite her boss. And I went, maybe you deserve to have your savings taken away.
Yeah, you know what? You're not good with money.
That's so many donuts she pushed off. And then later in the film, she has the audacity to tell her friends when they're hungry, go get a donut.
I only dropped them moments ago.
You dropped them on the floor and you're offering them to... Christine, what are you doing?
She's not even the first to die. They go to this department store, am I getting this right, Carl? To steal lingerie, invite 3 boys over to fuck in the display tents.
Yes.
This takes
ages to explain.
All the film. Because they do this bit where they put the tape on the door so everyone can get in. But Santa, now... We have not been to...
No. This is where we're going to run into a little bit...
There's a B plot.
We're going to run into a little bit of confusion.
Yeah.
Because we're going to be talking about Santa the character,
Mm.
but there's also somebody in the film playing Santa. That's a major plot point.
I've got a great way to differentiate one.
Mm-hmm.
One is Sad Santa. He's our main character. Because he's sad, but he's hopeful.
Caveat, I would like to change it to... Because he's so wholesome. Let's call him Wholesome Santa.
Wholesome Santa.
Let's call him Whole Santa.
Whole Santa. That's tasteful. The other one's called Cocaine Santa.
Yeah, it's Coke Santa.
It's Coke Santa.
So anyway, so whole Santa rocks up, is like, hey, I've got my sober chip.
Yeah.
And the guy's like, I don't know what you want me to do with this. Have a coffee and a donut on me. And he's like, but I want a job. And he's like, get out of here.
This is a nice department store.
Get out of here. He rocks up, and I'm guarantee you he's still drunk. I reckon he stole that fucking chip. I reckon he went to one AA meeting, stabbed somebody, took the chip and went, I'm going to get a job as a security guard.
They're so cheap on eBay. Anyone can buy one.
Really?
I can buy one. Should we buy some? Should we get Who Would Watch This AA chips made up?
Should they be... I've gone this long without listening to an episode. Should we reward listeners by not listening to us?
All I want for this podcast is get a big enough fan base to which we can sell them essentially just stuff that's bullying us.
Yeah.
That's all I want.
The 3 girls decide they want to go sit on Santa's lap.
Yes.
What does Santa do?
Santa... So these girls, again, they're 40. So they're
60.
Yeah.
Maybe.
I don't know, 65.
They might as well have been there when Nazis ruled.
Let's say it, lock it in. I feel like we're going to mention Nazis a lot during this.
Here's the thing. The Nazis is a huge plot point in this.
It's a huge plot point.
Okay?
Can't miss it.
I refuse for us to be roasted for talking about Nazism.
Oh,
The whole
exactly.
movie's about Nazis.
Whether we joke or not about it, that's our decision. But they sit on Santa's lap, Coke Santa's lap, and they're like, hey, you got me a present?
Sorry, what I like before this, and I think this is genuinely funny.
Yeah.
This kid sits on Santa's lap and is like, Santa, for Christmas, I want a Nintendo. To which he says, Nintendos are found in aisle 6, and shoves
They're
them
on
off.
sale!
And I love the idea of a Santa, like, hustling more sales.
Hey,
that's probably not on me to bring you. Buy one yourself.
I can get you the games, but you buy the Nintendo
It's
yourself.
also wild he says it to the kid and not to the mother. It's like, oi. Like, because...
Get your Velcro wallet out, scrape it open, and go buy yourself a little Nintendo system.
Isn't the point of shopping mall Santas to, like... I don't think they do... Well, I don't know if they ever did this, but to me it makes sense that you would go, I don't know what my kid wants. I'll take my kid to see Santa. The kid can tell Santa, then I'll talk to Santa, and Santa can tell me what the kid wanted.
Yeah, you liaison, but it has to be more subtle because it can't be like,
but they don't
alright,
do that
Timmy.
anymore, do they? It's just a picture with Santa. Do you still go up to Santa and be like, what did my kid want? Do people do that?
I feel like I feel like now they've taught kids to read.
Get your mum on the phone. I want to find out. Get your mum on the phone.
You have to give Santa your number, and he'll give you a text.
Get your mum on the phone.
We're jumping straight back into it. They sit on Coke Santa's lap. They're kind of flirting with him like in a funny way, and then it's kind of like, hey, you're not Santa, ha ha ha. He then just goes to the thigh, just goes straight for the thigh, whispers in her ear, you like oral?
I can attest to it. That's exactly what he says, which is absolutely unreal. Because what is this scene cut with? The mother drowning the cat in the toilet.
Why does she do this? So she has the cat, because there's like, she has the cat, puts it in a bag, gets it in the toilet, dunks it in, and then goes, well, that's dead. And then when, like, the Santa's getting, like, arrested, she's like, I'll bury the cat in the backyard. Why does she kill the cat?
Because I think she hates her daughter so much. Because she's doing it to spite her daughter. Because she's awful to her daughter 100% of the time. Yeah. So, I can only assume. So, Santa is then like, I'm going to go do some coke.
No, he gets fired.
Does he?
He does get fired.
Oh.
It's like, get out of here, you're getting fired. And then smash cuts to him just racking the largest lines of cocaine I've ever seen.
He might as well have gotten like a snowball and defrosted it. There's so much cocaine. I don't know how, I think is he going to kill himself via cocaine? The thickest
like, it's like 100 grams of flour each line. Like,
he might as well have gone to the shops, bought a sack of flour, unleashed it into his room, and just walked around going,
oh, God damn, that's good. Now, there's a spooky scene coming out, Carl. It's pretty spooky.
Oscar, hold my hand. The scene's very spooky.
It's pretty spooky. The elf bites his cock off while he's doing cocaine. We've stopped holding hands because I said cock and it got a bit sweaty.
Speaking of which, we do have to pause the podcast. Okay. Anyway, so he gets killed, stabbed and bitten, and no cock left for him.
Yeah,
and I assume the elf does his cocaine because the cocaine disappears. I'm convinced the elf's in a rage for the rest of the movie because he did a whole sack of cocaine.
So much cocaine, and famously, Nazis were on a lot of meth.
Well,
that's a fact.
Well, we are gonna find out later that they're crackpots.
I'm not even joking. Have you not heard that?
Oh no!
Yeah, that was a tactic.
Educate me.
Well, I mean, again, don't know much about it, but I brought my friend a book, which is pretty much how all the Nazis were absolutely drugged up fiends. You come here for the facts, not the fiction here on this podcast. The snooty, what's it called? They find the dead body. I mean, the snooty, like, department store owner says probably the funniest line that is, nothing like this has happened at Golem's in 50 years. Like, this has happened, some sort of similar thing like this has happened 50 years ago.
I do love it though, because also Christine is like, oh god, this is terrible. To which the guy that owns the department store turns to her and is like, well, you're a suspect. She's like, how? And she's like, he's just like, you hated him.
Yeah.
He felt you up and you decided to kill him. And I'm like, what a wild accusation.
What accusation?
Because she constantly gets blamed for a lot of things throughout this film.
Constantly, like, you were kind of there. You're the murderer.
But we then get to my favorite part. One of my favorite lines in the movie. I keep being like, this is my favorite line. It's not, because there's more.
It keeps topping it.
She comes home, to which the mother's like, how's your day? She's like, bad day, Santa got murdered.
So blasé. And the mum's like,
just starts taking off her coat. Hey, have you seen Glug Glug Glug?
No, I murdered him in the toilet. I put him in a hole. She's like, Mom, you're crazy.
She's like walking around clapping. She's like, blah, blah, blah.
You hear, baby? Kibbles on the table. The mum just straight at the back and goes, I killed the cat. And the
Oh
mum,
my
and the
God.
daughter's like, ugh, what a shit day. All I want to do.
It's come back and curl up with slip, slop, slap. So she's lying, she's moping around, she's like, I guess I'm going to bed because my cat's dead.
Yeah.
Another spooky scene happens. Oscar, hold my hand.
Hold my hand.
The elf.
God, does that come?
For the listener at home, Oscar and I are bottomless. We wear tops to be civil, but we're naked from the waist down.
Oh, you would not be the sweat that is on this wooden chair.
We need to get better chairs. We need more listeners to afford better
Oh,
chairs.
please.
I'm constantly uncomfortable for such a long amount of time. For the listener at home, Oscar and I have not stopped holding hands through this ordeal. So something spooky happens.
Something spooky happens.
The elf starts whacking the dead cat on her window. She wakes up screaming. We can let go.
We can let go.
Wakes up screaming. It cuts to the mum, and she's like, am I not going to get a night's sleep around here?
What? Your dead cat got slapped on the window.
Yeah.
Big deal!
She's like, it probably wasn't even a miniature elf. It was probably just a raccoon slapping it into the window. What hostile raccoons are you living around where they go and dig up something and throw it at your window as a warning?
But repeatedly. It's not even like an accident. It's a repeated slapping of the cat. God, it's a weird episode today, isn't it? Just on the movie itself. We're not even making any jokes. We're just saying things.
Oh, God, we're just saying what happens. Anyway, so then cuts to Santa, who has the biggest pack of Camel cigarettes I've ever seen sitting on his table.
He's got an airport, like duty-free, a suitcase, because you get to the airport with a handle, and he's just chain-smoking them.
They're basically like, hey, do you want a coffee? And he's like, no. I think I'll just have all these cigarettes for dinner.
I've got a whole cup of ash I could sip on. Anyway,
I'm going to have all the cigarettes as an entree, and I'm going to have all the heroin I have back at home as a main.
So Christie's like, oh, I'm so glum at my job. And then Santa's just sad Santa. Oh, no, sorry. Hopeful.
Whole Santa.
Whole Santa. It's just like, you think your life's bad. My life's awful. And she keeps going, oh, you know, my cat dies. Like, 4 of my cats have died in my past.
Yeah, he's like, cats don't stop dying around me.
No.
Maybe I owned yours.
Do I have a smell? Is it something I'm doing?
Anyway, so then the snooty man from Ferris Bueller's Day Off rummages through the crowd. He's like, oh my God, thank God I found you. I need a Santa. He's like, oh yes, gets up and he goes.
Does the Santa bit.
Cuts to another incredible part of the film. He's in his change room.
Yep.
It's revealed that the dead man outline is still on the ground, and
he's now, I assume, living at the murder scene.
He basically has walked in and he's like, oh, it's cool, there's a little bit of floor art. Can put a bed over there, put a jacuzzi in that corner, but oh man,
I'm keeping the murder victim. Oh, a bit of blood there. Don't want to slip on that.
When I have friends around, I guess we'll just admire the floor art.
And he just starts kind of monologuing to himself, like, "Oh, Coke Santa, what have I got myself into?"
He basically he looks down, and this is where we find out he used to be a detective, with the incredible lines. I'm not a detective. This isn't my concern. I'm Santa. I've got reindeer to take care of. That's the end of the scene.
That's the end of the scene.
Oh, sorry. He does find a symbol, which has the biggest twist of the movie, in my opinion. We'll get to that symbol.
We'll get to the symbol.
Anyway, I don't know what happens from this point to...
Up
until another point. There's a lot of Germans yelling at each other. I cannot understand what they're saying.
But they're not... But yeah, I don't... Okay, so yeah, we'll just... There's like a 10-minute bit... We'll move on to it.
Is this the 9-minute to 20-minute scene? Or have we
No,
passed that?
we've already passed that.
Oh,
we're like 35.
You missed that?
I know, right? Well, there's just like a couple of talking Germans, and then we're here, and then it's night.
Okay, and now we have the whole tape debacle. We've got to unpack all of this tape.
Okay, well, let's just set the premise up, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, at the start of the scene, you don't know what's going to happen, but 3 girls are planning to break into the department store.
Mm-hmm.
They're going to get lingerie.
Mm-hmm.
They're going to have sex with 3 boys that they were going to try and summon at the start of the film.
Yeah. On top of this, Santa is going to the library to investigate his symbol. So he puts a little bit of tape over the door.
Because he is living in the department store where
He's
the man
living
was
where
murdered.
the man was murdered.
Yes.
He's living where Coke Santa was murdered. So he puts tape over it and he leaves.
Yes.
Then Christine comes by. It's the end of her shift. She grabs more tape, goes to put the tape onto the door, finds more tape. Music goes... Like it's a mystery, and I'm like, well, we know why the tape is there. We saw him put tape there.
Exactly.
Just odd.
The scene ends there.
Yeah, but the tape doesn't stop.
No, the tape does not stop. Now the tape's been removed, and the man returns from his reading montage at the library, and the tape
is gone.
So they don't know how he gets into the door.
No. So the girls rock up.
Yeah.
They use the tape to go in.
Yep.
One of them is like, I'm going to take this tape.
Yeah.
The door closes and locks. Santa returns. Is like, I can't get in. But I swear I put tape there.
Yeah.
Then is like, I guess I'll break in. Goes to find something to break in. To which Christine realizes that one of the girls has taken the tape. Then she's like, if you've taken the tape, how will the boys get in? So she goes back, puts the tape back on the door, closes the door, Santa rocks up with the crowbar, goes to break in, but the door opens normally because there's tape on it. Santa then removes the tape.
That scene
closes the door, which means the boys then rock up later. They can't get in, so they decide they're going to break in. So what we're saying is after all of this, there is no payoff to the tape.
There's no payoff to this tape. I have so many notes on me keeping track of the tape.
I've never seen a film this tight. It's not pay off. Not pay off something they spend so long doing.
Establishing. Because the payoff is the boys are like, God, I'm horny. I want to just put my penis. I'm not even joking. It's pretty much this line for line. And they go, the door's closed. Let's bash it open, boys.
He grabs his cock and he's like, I got a tool that can open it. What? Horny? He just starts fucking the door. I'm too horny. I can't wait to get in there. Just fucks that door.
Oh, they start really they are genuinely like, I got a tire jack in the car. I gotta get this pussy. They're manic.
They're like, I've taken Ritalin and Viagra, so I need to put my cock in a hole.
I was also at a murder scene earlier today and snorted a lot of cocaine, so I'm in a weird mood.
Either we get in or I'm going to find a rusty bottle to fuck. So we need to get in.
The girls are trying on lingerie.
Yeah.
They keep just slut-shaming each other, kind of.
They do. Constantly, they're like, you're a slut.
The dialogue is so just like... It's pretty great, actually, honestly. But it's just very much like, what do you think of this? He'll never fuck you in that. What about this? Oh, you look tubular. I would fuck you in that so hard.
And I'm like, what are these three women going to fuck? What's going on? One of them goes into their tent to get ready to have sex in.
Yeah.
Finds one of those old-fashioned camping bathrooms that's just like a toilet seat and a plastic bag underneath it. And she's like, mood killer. Ew. Smash cut to the boys are trying to break in. But then a twist happens.
Oh, there is such a twist.
The boys aren't breaking in.
No.
The horniest of the boys.
Yeah. The man who's fucking the door, his cock is mid
out.
In the lock.
He dies with a broken bottle in his hand. Covered in semen.
With just a face of woe on him. Just like...
Oh no, but he's been, I guess, chopped in the head because the Nazis have tracked their way to the store.
Yes.
Okay.
Goodness. All right. Holy Santa or whole
Santa.
Whole Santa. Why do we call him that? You prick. He looks at them and goes, "Hey, you shouldn't be here." The girls are like, "You shouldn't be here." It's like, because we have an agreement.
Yep.
So then the Nazis show up.
Yep. The Nazis show up. One of the girls is like, that must be the boys. I'm gonna go investigate. Takes off her clothes. Hops in an elevator. She goes up, coincides with the Germans. The Germans hop in the elevator. They're like, what do you know? What do you know of the elf? And she's like, basically like a child, plugs her ears with her
I'm
fingers.
not listening to
and
you.
it's like, meh, 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 blah, 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 little German people, blah, blah, blah.
They rightfully murder her.
They shoot Brooke dead.
Brooke. That's the second name we hear. There's no one else with names on this.
Mm.
Yeah, so Brooke gets killed in the elevator.
So here's where I'm very confused. The elf hasn't been around for a while. What's going on?
I don't know why this film... I mean, I guess... Fucking hell, I guess the plot's about Elf, but it's a lot of Nazi stuff in it. It should really be called Nazi Elf.
Could you imagine if this movie just had Will Ferrell playing the elf?
It
and
could
nothing
work.
changes?
I think it could work. I really think it could work.
Because they get to a point where there's this giant shootout happening between Santa and Christine versing the Germans.
They also have guns now.
Yeah.
Everyone has a gun.
Everyone has a gun. Bullets are flying everywhere. This is like a 9-minute scene. They're constantly shooting and missing each other.
It's the
Holes
lamest.
are everywhere.
Yeah, it's the lamest shooting. And anyway, another twist happens. The elves.
The elf is there.
The elf is there.
So she pops up and is like, the elf!
Yeah.
And he looks over and is like, an elf? To which the two of them, not that shocked there's an elf there.
No, they're kind of like, well, we've got bigger fish to fry.
So, it's like at this point the Germans have killed more than the elves have.
Yeah.
So far, this is the kill count. The elf has killed a Coke Santa.
Yeah.
The Germans have killed a horny girl. The mother has killed a cat. Named Zuzu.
Zuzu. Oh, we always tie it back, baby. All right. So then the elf kills the third girl.
The elf hides in the mannequins and is like, sorry, the elf puts on a Christmas hat at one stage.
It's quite fun.
And I was like, he's rocking that hat.
He's smashing
That's
that.
a stylish
Have we mentioned what the elf looks like?
No. Do you want to try and explain it?
Oof. I'd say like a melted Star Wars puppet.
It looks like
an E.T. that's been... Have you ever watched the Goosebumps 90s like TV show where the episode's The Mask?
No.
Well, for the many listeners out there that have, it's just like a melted E.T. A sinister E.T.
Mm.
Would that be the best way to say it?
Yeah, I mean, it looks like... Look, it's funny that you should say E.T., because we're going to get eventually to a movie called Mac and Me to review.
Yes.
I think it looks like Mac from Mac and Me.
It does.
I wouldn't be surprised if it was the same...
Dull.
Like
it's just that with a Snapchat filter of evil.
Yeah.
That's the look we're going for.
Also, I don't know about you, but the elf didn't come off small to me.
Is it not small? It is small, right?
It's tiny. It's supposed to be tiny.
Yeah. How tiny?
Well, I think it's supposed to be like knee height. But
I thought it was like a good 1.20 meters.
Yeah. Because there's a part where he's standing taller than mannequins.
Yeah. Oh, no, I definitely think it's like 1.20 meters.
There's a part where he's standing near a tree and he's like up to the first branch.
Yeah, I don't think so. Was he meant to be small?
Yeah, they're constantly like, it's the small midget. Like, it's the...
Oh.
They're constantly being like, it's a small little fuckers following me.
Yeah.
They make a point of it being tiny, and when they show
Maybe
it's
they're
huge.
freakishly tall. They are 40. They've had a lot of time to grow. Anyway, she kills him.
Why is his murder weapon a knife? You reckon the elf would have a more creative...
Yeah,
Why is it even killing?
I don't know. I think, because, I mean, now I'm actually processing what his motivation was. His motivation is, do we spoil it?
Yeah,
He wants to...
Oh, actually, no, because we'll get to the part where they do explain it.
I don't know why he kills so much.
Yeah. Anyway, look, the Germans leave and the police come.
Yeah.
This guy is basically like to Santa, you were the world's best detective, and you threw it all away for alcohol. And he's like, please, sir, give me 24 hours. Just 24 hours and I'll solve this case.
You got 24 hours or your badge and your gun. It's like, I haven't got a badge or a gun.
I'm not hired by you.
I'm not a cop. You got 24 hours. Solve the case.
It is one of my favorite lines where he's like, I've given you 24 hours. Is that enough time? Like, really intensely. And Santa goes, I don't know if that's enough time. Really concerned.
Just like, goodness, I didn't.
He's so wholesome. He says
he's
please and thank you to every character.
He's very kind and loving. He's not really the hero, though.
But they also are like, you didn't see an elf. Like, he's only told them about the elf and not about the shooters.
Yeah.
And that's why they have so many issues.
It's just like, really? An elf? I don't believe that. What about the three men? Oh, no. Well, you've started with the elf, so what can I... It's, boy who cried wolf. I'm not believing anything you say.
Well, the snooty man rocks up and is like, well, if it isn't the suspect returning to the scene of the crime, covering everything in bullets. Well, you're liable to pay for everything. Snoot, snoot, snoot.
I'm so snooty.
I talk through my nose because I'm pompous.
Anyway, lovely Santa is just kind of like, hey, man.
He's like, hey, her friends just died. Bring it down.
It's literally that. Oh, it's so beautiful.
I wish he was just in my life.
Right?
Do you imagine if he was here right now with us?
Oh, God, it'd be good.
He'd be sitting over there with his big bushy beard.
Big bushy beard.
You know who he reminded me of is oh god, Robert Redford in that meme where he like nods.
Yeah.
For a moment, I was like, "Are you just Robert Redford?"
In that meme?
Who's Dan Fogel?
Are we big fans now? I think so.
If he acts like this in every movie, I need a hug from this man.
Oh, God.
If he had been alive, well, he's probably still alive today, but had his career been moved up, he would have Zach Galifianakis' career. We'd be watching Between Two Ferns with Dan Fogelman.
You know what? I think we petitioned for it. I think we get it. I don't want to look up if he's dead or not. Do we think he's dead?
I think yes, but I think it's because the Nazis got him.
Oh, that's true. I didn't watch the end of the film. I'm a bad podcaster.
So anyway, Santa's like, look, I'm going to take you home. I'm Mike, by the way. And she's like, I prefer it if I could just call you Santa.
He kind of goes, yeah, you know what? Me too. You have fun there, Christine.
So the mum just does not believe them. It's like, what are you, both on crack? I bet you both broke in to do crack, didn't you? Oh, you've probably done more crack than the elf following you around.
You're so mean. Anyway, Nazi father who...
Because she's
Can you get your magical book and tell these kids to tick off?
Anyway, so the Santa goes and meets the person who explains the Nazis are crackpots.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So he's like, I'll be right back.
Dude has a plastic pipe. The librarian has the fakest looking prop I've ever seen. Because he keeps on like pretending he's going to light it and then is like, this will melt. So also, I won't do it.
He's so comically twee. He's like a Wes Anderson character. He's like, yes, well, I go to this book and there's a lot of books in this library.
And then he's basically like, and what do you think of elves? And he's like, well, in my opinion, I don't believe in them. No, sorry, no, I don't.
But I tell you what, though, I'll tell you right now, I know a man that knows everything about elves. However, he is having Christmas dinner at this very moment.
I don't know why I'm telling you this, because it kind of renders me as a character completely useless.
You could have just
gone straight to him. You could have skipped me completely in the plot.
But I guess they already paid for this library in this twee little suit.
And look at the plastic pipe they gave me. Filthy potatoes.
People is Irish. He then books it to the other man's place, and he's having a lovely Christmas dinner.
Yeah, well, he's actually not, because the kids are like, "Is that beef?" And he's like, "It's turkey," and they go, "Oh, what a weird way to open a scene."
They also have an electric turkey cutter. And I don't know why, but this audio is the most prominent in the scene. Just
anyway, so I'll tell you about the elves. Anyway. You might as well be cutting down a tree. It's so loud. The audio mix is way out. They basically went, this is the worst acting, but the most plot. Put sound over it.
Can we jump the music up more?
Yeah.
Anyway,
the sound designer from Tenet showed up for a day.
My vagina quivered. Anyway, Santa bashes down his door and goes, "Hey, Mr. Nazi, tell me everything you know about elves." And the guy rightfully says, like, "Oh, we're having dinner." Yeah. Anyway, there's two thoughts to the whole elf premise.
Do you want to explain it then?
Oh, okay. All right. Okay. There's a lot to about... So the twee man goes, elves are in the Bible. And essentially, when hell fills up, the elves will come out.
He might as well just been like, well, back in the original Testament, Jesus was an elf.
Pretty much rewriting it. Anyway, so they go, that's the premise. So elves will reign, but they're not like the elves they're evil little munchkins. Anyway, they did get raised. The Nazis then used them in all their Nazi espionage
To
assassinate and kill. And essentially, I guess Hitler was chatting to them and figured out that if one of these elves impregnated a virgin...
So this is the other one. This is that if they genetically engineered them with cults and spells.
Yeah.
So that was the two. So it was either they were assassins or they wanted to fuck for the pure race.
Yeah.
The movie posits that they're both.
Yeah.
Because he starts assassinating people left, right, and center and goes, I've earned a fuck.
I've earned a fuck. I'm a bit horny. Anyway, so now we know, we're at the end almost. We now know that if an elf has sex and impregnates a virgin, then the master race of elves will spread.
Now, I'm trying to wrap my head around this. I'm pretty sure a character in the film is a virgin. One of them's... who is it?
I'll give you a clue. It's the only one with a name.
Brooke. I'm going to lock in Brooke, Oscar.
And you're bang on right. He had a little...
It's not Brooke, it's Christine!
It's Christine! She's a virgin.
But Christine's about to get a very, very intense revelation.
Goodness Christ. M. Night Shyamalan could not write this.
This is so off the rails. I've never experienced something like this.
You've just heard what we've just said. We've explained this Nazi elf thing, and it goes 1,000,000,000,000 times weirder than this. Go on, Carl.
The mother and the daughter are in a fight. The mother's like, hey, I found out about your friends. I guess you were telling the truth when you did say they were killed.
Yeah.
It's just, well, she's like, I wish you were dead and Dad was alive again. And she's like, well, your dad's not dead. What do you mean? Your dad's in the study. No. Grandpa's in the study. No. Dad's dead. No. Your dad's in the study. No, Grandpa's in the study. How are you not getting this?
All right, your grandpa's your father. It's incest.
Your grandfather and your father are the same person. Oh, she's like, oh, no.
I'm not a fan of that.
So...
Goodness, all right.
I sat up. I've never been so attentive to a film where I went, oh, I'm shook. Shook by this revelation.
A fat incest twist. All right. Whew. Whew.
So, it then just cuts to the grandfather explaining this away.
Oh, yeah.
And I wrote down some of his horrible reasoning. I thought it was important. I thought it was necessary to fuck my own daughter. It's okay. She was drugged and unconscious. I took no pleasure in it. It was planned, controlled inbreeding to make a pure child. Christine's obviously horrified.
Yeah.
Tries to run away, in which he says, you are beautiful and perfect, and I love you. So this is where I have another issue.
Obviously, another issue. Your second issue. Gotcha.
Go on. So did he just fuck his daughter for fun to get the brother?
Oh, I didn't think about that. Oh,
who's the father of the brother?
Oh.
Did he do it twice?
I guess he did, because this kid's pretty creepy.
Yeah.
So I guess he's a product of incest.
Who's the father of the brother?
I don't think so. Anyways.
But that negates everything, because he's like, I took no pleasure in it. And I'm like, but you did it a second time?
Yeah.
Is that
You got one.
Because this is where I was like, the twist would be that the elf wants to fuck the brother to make them pure.
Is this film aggressive?
Oh, who wrote this? It's insane.
Because it's not even like a fetish film where you kind of be like, someone gonna go for this. No ideas. What is going on, Carl?
Who's this for? Who's this for? Anyway, during this time, Santa finds out there's a bomb in his car.
Thank God, I've written a car blows up. Ask Carl. There was a bomb in there.
Yeah.
What?
He goes to get cigarettes. The bomb falls out, and instead of throwing the bomb out the car, he goes and rolls out of the car himself. He's like, okay, I've got two options here. I could throw this out the window, protect the car, considering I'm poor and drunk and don't have a job, or I'll just roll out of the
I'll
car.
roll out the
I'm
window.
gonna roll out of the car!
The Nazi follows up behind, parks up behind, and goes, well, Santa, you really fucked up now. And then Santa just starts beating
He just clocks it out of nowhere. It's one of the funniest choreographed things. It's a still shot of him watching the fire, and he just walks in and is like, ugh!
The sound design is so quiet, so it's just...
It's dead silent, and then the music's like...
Oh. So Santa now has a car and has beat up one of the Nazis. There's 3 Nazis, 2 to go.
I love it. He's basically like, lose a car, gain a car.
That's life, baby.
This is where we get to the mum dying.
Yeah, well, you could call it the post told my daughter about the incest bath.
I need to relax. She's like, God, I've gotten a lot off my chest today. I need to bare my chest to the camera.
She does like the lipstick thing in the window just before she's going to write whore.
It's so bizarre. So I don't know if this, but it looks like she has a body double for the nude scenes.
Yeah.
Because I think the body's very young and then it cuts, it's old. But there's also a part, because she readjusts herself in the bath.
Yeah.
And the older actress is wearing a towel in the bath.
Yeah.
So when it cuts to the wides, she's nude, and when she's close up, there's a little bit of towel in the corner.
Well, you've read deep down the nudity, Carl, which I think, shame on you. I'm really interested in the toaster mechanics. Because how does she die? The elf throws a toaster in the bathtub.
It's the radio that she was listening to.
Oh, I've written a lot of toaster bits. All right.
You can rustle through them. Oh, Oscar, I can't believe the elf threw a toaster in the bath.
Well, now my bit seems silly. I was going to say, where did he get the toaster from? Did he bring it into the bath and plug it in? No, let's go with your double body thing. That wasn't her.
We can do I want you to have a bit. Let's do the toaster bit.
Don't pity me.
No,
don't pity me.
Well, what did the elf go to the kitchen and grab a toaster? What? How did he do that? He's too small.
He wouldn't be able to reach it.
He's incredibly agile for how small he is, because he does get on top of the bath to like up onto the 3rd story of this building.
Yeah,
the house is huge.
This is huge, but also his legs are gross, right?
Oh, his legs are... Here's the thing. They douse that fucking thing in slime before every shot, and you can tell I hate it.
Oh, it's so cummy.
Obviously, like, the director was like, is everything in shot? Alright, Andre, douse the costume in slime.
He's all thank you, sir. I can release my load.
Or it was some prepubescent teen who was like, pop your pimples all over the elf. Get it all nice and slimy.
It doesn't look good, though. It's not like a good elf that looks like shit. It just looks like a weird puppet covered in pus. And it's not very scary. So they go downstairs.
And they have the big talk with the grandpa about how they're going to get away with this. He's basically like, look, I went to the library and I've talked to multiple people. Explain this symbol to me.
Yeah.
This is the twist that I was talking about that floored me. I couldn't believe that somebody thought this was clever.
I just want to brag, because look at my first note. Swastika boob.
Wow.
I just want to say, I guessed it.
Wow.
Yeah.
Oscar guessed it. The symbol is half of a swastika with a quarter of a boob attached to it. Because there's a part where it's literally like one of the fucking Da Vinci Code scenes where they're putting all the pieces together and they're like, but if you add a line here and you add a line here and you circle it and the camera pans out and it's just a naked woman with
fingering herself with a massive swastika.
And it's like, oh my god, it was in front of our eyes the whole time.
Yeah, I mean, like, I joked because of that, because I kind of thought, that's weird, you could probably add a swastika into those boobs. Did not think that'd be the pivotal moment of the film.
This film's too much. Anyway, the Germans find them, Grandpa has a gun, he starts shooting them, he shoots somebody twice, doesn't bother to shoot a 3rd time, is like, well, if you're not going down with 2 bullets... what's a 3rd going to do to you?
The oaf grabs him, throws him to the ground, and then immediately falls to the ground and dies.
And then the other German picks up the gun, shoots the grandpa, and is like, I hope you believe in hell, because there's a hell where you're going. Something clever, I guess.
Yes.
The Christine and the brother, they run out into the forest.
Yeah.
Run.
Thank you. I wasn't understanding. Now I'm.
For the listener at home, we mime a lot of the stuff that we say.
I feel like we should say what we're miming. Zip. I'm zipping.
Run. I'm moving my arms, but not my lower body, because my lower body's nude.
Oh god, you can't move this because it's just slappy. They run through the woods. The head Nazi follows them a car. I don't get the scene because he flips the car
and gets out of it, and I was like, okay, the car's flipped. I can go chase her now.
Yeah.
So this forest, I dare say, has a single hole in it. One. I would say it's about half a foot in diameter.
Yep.
In the whole forest.
It's the flattest forest I've ever seen.
The single hole, Christine somehow steps in it and gets stuck. The only hole in the forest.
It's also like...
It's
20 centimeters
It's like she
deep.
would have had to have forced her foot in to get it stuck.
Really get it stuck.
Like the hole, if it had a personality, would have been like, oh good, I'm small enough to be stepped on, but not enough to be footed. And then she's gone and footed it herself.
That hole is not chuffed. Alright, so the Nazis
What's a better hole? Hole or Hole Santa? Oscar, shall we compare holes? Now let's talk about Shia LaBeouf's hole. Now let's talk about Shia LaBeouf in the movie Holes.
Did you prepare that bit?
No, it's off the cusp.
Goodness. Alright, smash cut. Elf got a gun. What do you do? The Nazis
My whole
monologue.
bits tickled me too much.
Oh, you're
I can't go on.
Alright.
I think I'm too funny.
You can't.
Cancel podcast. We're doing the rest. It's just me, baby.
Just doing whole bits. You get a whole podcast out of that.
Oh, he's brought it back around. That's because you can stay.
This is my deciding podcast video. Does he get to stay? I don't think so. He's really
We're
nailed it.
leaving up to you, the listener at home. Who had the better whole bit? Email us.
Oh, the Nazi's gonna rape Christina. The elf has a gun and shoots the Nazi. I kind of at this point think the elf's the good guy, but then the elf very slowly goes to walk to the hole.
But then is like, I'm gonna impregnate you, but first I'm gonna offer you something. There's a cockroach over there, which is only in the movie to elongate the amount of time the brother has to run all the way home.
This 10-year-old just kind of
Grab
slowly
the
walk.
rock.
Yeah, the
run
rock.
all the way back.
The grandpa has been shining a rock throughout the film. We didn't really mention that because it's in a half a scene. You go, that's not important. Anyway, he grabs the rock. Santa's like, here, take this rock. All right, I'm back to being dead.
And it's like, your dreams will tell you that you know what to do with this rock when you get it.
Again, this is the same boy that goes, I want to touch its fucking tits.
Yep. He's now the biggest hero. And it does kind of pay off the fact that he wasn't able to hide earlier, because he gets back into the forest and is like, well, I don't know where you are. He's like, hey, Christine?
Year round? Well, this rock's useless.
She's like, Willie! Willie!
The incest child called Willie.
So she gets the rock. She's then starting to get dragged to the hole that she's already footed. I assume she twisted her ankle or something, because she says she can't get up.
I thought the elf was like kind of like stroking her, like foreplay. Ugh. It was gross. That's what I thought.
That.
It's really gross. It's
covered in pimple juice.
Oh, it's so yeah.
Don't like any of this.
We've got like a second, like 30 seconds left.
Yeah.
Boy.
So here's the thing. You think it's going to be something big in terms of your dreams will tell you what to do. She takes the rock, stabs the hole, which is to say she stabs nothing.
Yeah.
Just inserts it into the hole. It's a lot of hole stuff going on. I don't like it anymore. She stabs it. The funniest explosion ever in a film. It has to be seen to be believed. If you want to watch any scene in this, go and watch the explosion. It's so clearly an off-screen explosion. It's like it's from under it's not near where the hole is. It's like she stabbed the hole and it blew up the left.
But it's like half a firecracker over there. They've filmed and it just
It makes no sense because they blew up a car earlier, and I'm like, could you have not saved anything for the final?
You flipped a car moments ago.
I'm convinced the car wasn't meant to blow up, and it was just old, and the actor was like, this car's getting rattly and smoky. I'm just gonna bail from it.
I'll return his grenade. You damn Nazi, why put the grenade in there?
He just improvs great.
Oh, he is great, that man.
Dan.
Oh.
I want to give Dan a hug.
Now, Carl, film's over. Because they've killed the elf, haven't they?
Yep. The elf is dead. She looks up into the sky. Snow. It fades. What do we see?
Credits. What's behind the credits? A fetus. Chills.
A fetus sitting still. Boom, boom. Boom, boom. Boom, boom.
Which also does lose its impact, because then you have, like, Best Boy on the credits.
Starring Dan. Alright, Oscar, who would watch this?
If you're a person that's always, during Christmas time, feeling a bit alone in the fact that you're always like, oh, we're the demon elves, incest, murder, Nazis, sexual assault, and eugenics, I guess. You'll love this. You'll adore it.
They will. As a genuine one, if you love The Room, or like The Happening, or just those really
bad ones,
ones, this is great.
It's fantastic.
This is absolute. I wish this was like. I'd love to see this in a cinema and mock this movie and.
I think this could be a Christmas classic, a Christmas classic.
This is. I assume it's not a cult because I don't think you can find a good quality version of it. I don't know if there's like a Blu-ray release or. I
don't think. If probably a video release.
If that video is like the best it is,
because the best I could find on YouTube was like 480p. Actually, sorry, Amazon I think has it.
Oh.
Do we buy it and see if it's good quality? It probably has an okay quality out there.
Yeah. Man, wild. As for another who would watch this,
other than a bad film aspect, what else can you get from this? Like, is there anything?
It's really nothing like anything I've seen before.
Yeah.
It is I've never really seen many horror Christmas movies. You got Black Christmas, you've got Better Watch Out, and Silent Night, Deadly Night that we'll be reviewing eventually. And, but like, this just is, it's a lot. It's a lot to take in.
So wacky. It is.
I think you'll enjoy it if, say, if your favorite part of all of Star Wars is Luke and Leia kissing in the 5th film, this probably is for you.
But also, if you wanted that scene to have a bit of more Nazism in there, and a bit more...
If you wanted Yoda to look even worse...
and kind of be a bit more creepy and touching people... And also, it
kind of checks out because there's Nazism in Star Wars.
So really, all we're ticking off is not Christmas.
There's a
Christmas special.
Oh,
this is Star Wars.
Wow,
this is Star Wars.
Wow.
If you like Star Wars, you're gonna love this.
All right, Oscar. What was your palate cleanser?
I had 2. I've got one that I want to just quickly brush over because it wasn't very good. It's called Extreme Movie. It's one of those like shitty parody movies.
Why? Why just subject yourself to it?
Because the writers that wrote it, the entirety of Lonely Island, Will Forte, and Chris Miller and Phil Lord.
Really?
There's like, it's shit.
Is it too many funny people?
It's just too many funny people. I was going through their letterbox. I'm trying to watch all their films because Chris Lord and Phil Miller I adore. I think their sense of humor is just amazing. So I was like, all right.
Extreme Movie.
It's a weird one. It's just like, one of those like little it reminds me of movie 43. And there's some that
terrible.
Without like sort of the running, it's sort of like a running plot. There's some big people in there. There's like 1 or 2 bits that's okay, but it's for the most part pretty painful. Yes, I watched that. I was curious. I also watched Sonic
the Hedgehog.
the Hedgehog.
Sonic the Hedgehog.
I was curious, didn't get to see it. Haven't got much to say. Jim Carrey was great.
Yeah. Also,
Really.
I think Ben Schwartz
As Sonic was really good.
Yeah.
Some of the comedy worked, some of it didn't. I also wanted to see the redesign. I went back and looked at it.
Yeah.
God, it's ugly.
It's better than I think it
should be. I
be.
think so.
I definitely liked it.
Yeah.
That's
a consensus I got.
Just kind of liked it.
Yeah.
Which I think is a win for that film.
I think so.
I think it's saved by Jim Carrey having an absolute ball.
Oh my god.
So the part where he pretends to be a T-Rex running from a T-Rex or something, and it's just great.
Oh, it's so good.
But yeah, I just think
that film, it shouldn't work.
Yeah.
Pleasantly surprised.
Yeah.
When I saw the reviews were everyone's like, it's okay. I'm like, all right, let's give it a go. There's some really good bits.
Yeah.
A lot of pretty generic, but overall,
yeah,
go there.
I finished the new HBO series, The Undoing, with Hugh Grant and Nicole Kidman and Donald Sutherland and Noah Jupe. Oh, Noah Jupe. It's good. Hugh Grant's great, man.
Hugh Grant's smashing it.
I
we
really
talk about Paddington too.
We could. I think this is his best performance he's ever given. I thought Paddington up until Paddington 2, it was Paddington 2.
Yeah.
Now I think it's The Undoing. I think all the acting across the board in The Undoing is really good.
Mm-hmm.
I think a lot of the writing's really strong. It's by the guy that did Big Little Lies and Ally McBeal and just lots of high profile shows.
Yeah.
It's directed by Suzanne Bier, who did Brothers, which is a really good film. Not the American remake, which is also alright, but the original foreign film one.
Mm-hmm.
But she's probably mostly known for doing Bird Box, which is unlike anything she's ever done or will probably ever do again.
Yeah, it was a bit of a commercial gig, was it?
Yeah, I would assume so. Although that movie did crazy well for them anyway, so I guess feather in her cap.
You don't get to get away with that saying. What have you been throwing that around all day? What does it mean? Huh?
Put a feather in your cap. This is a win. I'm going to pick up this feather, put it in my cap. Have you heard of this show?
I've never heard of it.
Really? No. It's fucking everywhere in Sydney.
I've not heard of
posters
anything.
And stuff. Basically, Hugh Grant is suspected for this very gruesome murder where this woman's head is bashed in with a hammer.
Mm-hmm.
And it's the unraveling of this family and this court proceeding because they're a high-profile family and, a lot of the lies that he'd been telling and just whether or not he did or didn't do it.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, it's just one of those types of shows. I guess it's slightly higher quality because it's high-profile actors and HBO. Yeah. The ending's a little bit yeah, I think the ending's good. I see, a lot of people are kind of disappointed by it because it doesn't have this massive twist.
Yeah.
And I'm is that really bad?
Yeah.
Is that not you just hyping it up? I don't know. There was a twist every episode. Couldn't that have made you happy? Couldn't that have made you watch 6 hours of content? There were about 6 twists. Weren't the 6 twists enough for you?
The guy on the 5th episode is oh, what a twist. There's no more twists. You really ruined it.
Out of twists.
Oh.
All right, Oscar. What are we going to be talking about next week?
Next week, we're continuing the Christmas theme. Let's get a little bit of Jack Frost in our stockings.
Oh, we're getting a little bit frosty in here.
I think we're getting a little Michael Keaton in our stockings.
A little bit of Michael Keaton as a snowman
He's
in
a
our
snowman.
stockings.
He's a snowman.
Oh, I'm this excited for Jack Frost. It's up to the listener to work it out. Thank you for listening.
Thank you for listening. Goodbye.
Oh, that stool hurt me this time, and I don't know why. Alright guys, thank you for listening. Tell your friends about us. Maybe one day we'll read out your weather. You can find us on iTunes, Spotify, Stitcher, and YouTube.
And if you have a film you'd like us to review, or questions you'd like to ask, email us at askwwwtpodcast@gmail.com.
You can leave us 5 stars on iTunes or any sort of praise anywhere. It helps new listeners find us and our egos grow.
Alternatively, don't do anything and see if we care.
Yep, ball's in your court.
Thanks for listening.
See you next week. While we've got you on the phone, rate the teas that you've gotten so far in your advent calendar?
Morning sunshine is the best. Black tea is a popular staple for a reason. Morning jade is alright, but the chocolate in it is too sweet. It's weird. Frosty fruitcake should burn in the deepest levels of hell. Rooibos is a horrible flavour.